big breaking news coming in. It's the first big arrest being made in connection to the Karur Stampede case. TVK's Karur West District Secretary Madhavdas has been arrested. He's been named as an accused number 1 in the FIR. Let's quickly take this across to Dharni, who's joining us live. Dharni, I believe this is the first high-profile arrest, person who's been named in the FIR. The big question is, how high up will these arrests go as far as TVK and the organizers are concerned? Dharni.
At the moment, we're able to confirm that TVK's Karur District Secretary Madhavdas has been arrested by the Tamil Nadu police. And as you rightly said, this is the first high-profile arrest that is being made by the police in connection with the Karur Stampede. Madhavdas is named as accused number 1 in the FIR, in the Karur Stampede FIR. And 2 other accused, they are CTR Nirmal Kumar and the General Secretary N. Anand. They've not been arrested yet. But as far as Madhavdas is concerned, in the FIR, it is clearly stated that the police personnel in this spot in the Karur rally, they advised Madhavdas and other functionaries that there might be a possible loss of lives and injuries looking at the situation unfolding in the ground. But Madhavdas and the other functionaries, they did not listen to the police advice. They went ahead and executed their plan. They did not pay heed to any of the suggestions given by the police department, and no cooperation was given at all.
Well, there are some very serious charges indeed that the TVK is looking at, given the fact that one arrest has also now happened. Thanks so much for joining us with that quick update, Dharni. Let's take it across to our guest now. Mr. Kalyan Raman, senior leader of BJP, is with us. We have KC Palanisamy, ex-MP and ex-MLA, as well as senior leader of the AIDMK. Hareesh Mohamed Ibrahim is a political analyst joining us. We also have Nadiya Sarguroh, who is in fact an associate partner with MZM Legal. I'm going to come across to you first, Nadiya. If the TVK is indeed not responsible, then the very fact that the first accused in this case, who has now been arrested, is a TVK member. And there are serious questions coming in from the police, from the administration, about how the TVK violated several of the guidelines and advice that was given to them and caused this huge surge of people which led to the stampede in the first place. Nadiya.
Yeah. Good afternoon, the panel. Good evening, the panel discussion. So in this, basically, it is a very tragic and a very unfortunate event that we are discussing. And the culpability squarely lies with the government, the police personnel, as well as the TVK organizers of the event. While the culpability is completely now shifting to the TVK organizers, the government and the state machinery has also failed in carrying out its obligations and duties. And in fact, the guidelines that are provided by the National Disaster Management Authority, in fact, have not been to the T followed by the government and the police professionals, because as per the guidelines, they have to first do the risk assessment and crowd flow planning, not at the time when the event has actually started, but at the time when this entire event is being planned. You cannot assess a situation on the ground when the stampede is occurring. And if such emergencies occur, there are guidelines which state that the state machinery needs to be equipped with emergency medical preparedness and deployment of trained professionals who can do crowd control management.
Hareesh Mohamed Ibrahim, respond to that. Respond to that. The state government and state machinery has failed. There are guidelines that are in place to provide immediate medical relief in case of such events, and that was violated by the state administration, is the charge coming in from Nadiya Sarguroh. Please respond to her.
I don't know where she is getting those statements from, because the government, local administration has given a clear-cut guidelines how this has to be conducted, and the organizers should, all these political parties who are conducting all these kind of rallies should be equipped with all kind of medical emergencies. The police can only, the state administration for all these political parties rallies are only to give the protection. And even at this case, for 10,000 members, which was been expected by the local TVK chief.
No, but Hareesh, what about crowd control? Police is not going to look into the crowd control.
Give me a second, Madhav. Let me complete. So out of that, almost 25,000 to 30,000 people have arrived, is what the estimate is all about. And for that matter of the fact, 20:1 is what the police people ratio has been deployed. So almost 500 to 600 people, police personnel have been deployed to control over 25 to 27,000 people. But here, what is the matter is, the people of TVK, the goons of TVK is a mob mentality crowd. They are not a politically sensitive crowd to handle with.
No. Once again, Hareesh, before you start charging TVK, my simple question to you is, We know what has happened a few weekends ago when, in fact, Vijay was in Madurai. There were some amount of deaths that took place. Any state government would have put in place, strict rules to ensure that there is crowd management. Where did the state government fail in that department is a question that is certainly pertinent in that regard.
For all the consecutive three rallies, there have been a strict guidelines given, and it has been flouted by their TVK chief, Mr. Vijay. It has been flouted by all the organizers and all the local people who came to saw Mr. Vijay. Not as a political leader, as a
No, but that's what TVK is saying. TVK is saying that you are not providing the adequate security. You're not providing adequate cooperation.
You know what?
They are making all sorts of allegations on the state government as well.
Indian police personnel average is almost 1 lakh is to 1. And now here 20 people is to 1 was the police ratio which has been deployed. What else they can do?
No, but then if that is all correct, Mr. Hareesh Mohamed Ibrahim, can you explain to us why have you not charged Vijay then? If you believe he is solely accountable?
Of course, that is the reason there has been a single judge appointed. The commission will give its fair report, and once the fair report has been tabled out,
There are 41 people have died. You're going to wait for a commission before taking action.
Madhav,
Let me bring it.
allow me to finish. Allow me to finish, please. You are asking me a query. You are not even allowing me to finish. So once a commission report has been tabled, whoever behind this, whoever culpable of these kind of heinous massacre kind of stuff which has happened over, which lost almost 40
Let me bring in
lives
others.
will
Let
be
me bring in
offline.
others. The point being made over here is very simple, sir. There are questions that have to be answered by everyone. Everyone, whether it's TVK, whether it's the state government, nobody's covered themselves in glory. 41 people have lost their lives at the end of the day. Let me bring in Mr. K.C. Palaniswamy. Mr. K.C. Palaniswamy, can either the DMK get away by saying that no, we provided everything, Vijay was being irresponsible, or can even Vijay get away by blaming it completely on the state government?
No, both are equally responsible for this. And as my friend pointed out, this one-man commission is of no use. They have no legal validity. Only police can investigate. It's a crime. 41 people have died. It has to be investigated by the police. The one-man commission would only come in the way of the police investigation. Since the state government is also equally charged, it is right to ask for a CBI investigation or an SIT under the monitoring of some court, maybe the High Court or the Supreme Court. This cannot be taken it lightly. There were chappals thrown, there were stones thrown, there was a power disconnection. People connected to the local DMK minister has got into the crowd and they created a panic situation. First of all, this government, the choice of the place, the allocation of the venue itself is a wrong choice. The district collector and the SP has to be held responsible.
Absolutely.
The police has intelligence department.
They what can is absolutely assess. Inexcusable.
They can assess.
And really heart-rending. 41 lives have been lost, including a 2-year-old. I think that's something that really has to sink in. And I think that's where the volume, the level of this tragedy really has sent shockwaves across the country. But let me ask Mr. Kalyan Raman. Mr. Kalyan Raman, you heard the ADMK spokesperson. He says he believes there should be either an SIT or a CBI probe into this. Is the centre and the BJP going to push for that now?
I mean, in principle, agree with K.C. Palaniswamy when he demands for an SIT or a CBI probe, which alone can do that. When an entity which is a single person commission, it's a single women commission, which does not have a great legal sanctity, it's just a namesake organization, that too will only serve the whims and fancies of the incumbent government. That is to absolve the state government of its failure. Then the very purpose gets defeated when the commission is going to give a report after 6, 7 months, 8 months, 10 months after spending 5-6 crores of the taxpayers' money. So the Aruna Jagadishan commission should be scrapped and CBI or SIT probe must be ordered. That's the basic thing. Second thing, I agree with Nadiya when she talks about the national disaster management, this thing. This guy, I don't know whether he's an analyst or a DMK spokesperson. I think Harish should concede himself to be a DMK spokesperson when he claims that the ratio was 1:20.
What nonsense was this? The numbers were hardly 130, 150 policemen.
there was not a single police women constable in the place. And what ratio we are talking about? Are you talking about 27,000 divided by 150 people is 120 one police personnel per 20 crowd? What is this?
Kalyani,
What is that you are
Kalyani,
trying
one
to
second.
defend? You don't know what you are talking about. Neither you know the mathematics, nor you understand the veracity of the issue.
You're short on facts. Hareesh
Please,
Mohamed
if you
Ibrahim,
want to talk
respond.
as an
You're
analyst,
short on facts. You're
Kalyani,
misleading the people
Kalyani,
with wrong
an
facts.
ethical bit of
You
mind.
don't have to
act as
take. You
spokesperson
don't
of
have to take
the
my
DMK.
point.
Even
Have you
DMK
listened?
men
Have you
used to
listened to
claim
Mr.
to be
ADGP David Asuwadam's statement yesterday? Have you followed that? You don't follow the current affairs of the politics in Tamil Nadu.
So,
Rather, you spew venom and these kind of derogatory comments against a panelist, right? Have you followed yesterday the clear-cut statement given by the ADGP on what is the fact which has been given? Even the same venue which has been
So,
deployed for
Hareesh
ADMK.
Mohamed Ibrahim, let me ask you a simple question. If your data is correct, if the police have deployed huge number of people there, then the police should take responsibility for the failure of law and order situation.
How come you say?
No, because
It is
your
a
people
high-
are there. The
it is-
policemen
it is a
are there
high-
monitoring the situation.
high-
They will not have any
high-
responsibility.
Madhav, you have to allow me. High-risk people have been deployed for these kind of mob mentality.
500. He just said
crowd by the
130.
TVK. No, if you are going to rebut for each and every point, there is no point of speaking at all. You itself.
No,
speak it
you have to take counter, sir. I cannot allow misinformation to be spread. He is
There
saying
is
it's
no
130. You are saying
misinformation.
it's 500. Now, which is it?
ADGP has given a clear-cut official statement. If you can't take the official statement, then we can't go ahead and argue with those kind of novice people. He's an ignorant.
Okay.
Kalyani
So,
is an ignorant.
that is exactly the
Ms.
reason I'm
Kalyani
asking you
is
this
an
question,
ignorant
Mr. Hareesh Mohamed Ibrahim.
who has went
If there
through all
are
these
500
kind of
people indeed over
ignorant
there,
person, he went
what
through
were those
those kind of
500
things.
people doing?
And again,
Were they
he's
playing
ignoring
marbles?
the facts and giving a
Instead of
false
saving
story.
lives, what were those 500 people doing?
Huh?
What were they
Oh.
doing? What were 500 people
Wow.
doing over there?
Mr.
Why could
Madhav,
they not
if
save those lives?
500 People, Madhav, if those 500 people haven't done their job, the entire crowd would have been, the casualties would have been higher. What kind of argument is this, Mr. Madhav? What kind of argument is this? What those 500 people have done, you are
I'm
saying?
sorry, sir. They are the ones responsible. If they are part of the government and there's been a precedent, the police are not people
Mr.
who can get
Madhav,
away scot-free like
Mr.
this.
Madhav,
Let me bring in,
Mr.
let me bring in
Madhav.
fact, Nadiya. Nadiya, respond to that. The police have done their job. If the police were not there, the casualty would have been much higher, is Harish's argument.
No, I don't agree with this statement. It is completely incorrect. And if the police had done their job, this unfortunate incident would not have arisen time and again in different parts and different states of the country. In fact, the risk assessment and analyzation of the situation has to be pre-prepared, and the police and the state governments have to be prepared when there is a public figure who is going to draw massive emotional crowd which is going to unfold to see him. He's not just a politician, and the state government was very well aware that he is going to draw maybe crowd larger than expected, and therefore the preparedness of the police and the equipment.
But Nadia, I must ask you a question. Why did Vijay run away from Karur? This is most surprising and most shocking for a person who is going to be presenting himself as a serious political alternative. We saw all of the political parties rushing towards Karur. Vijay is the only one
can I interrupt?
at whose rally this has happened, who's actually running away back to Chennai. What's going on?
Can I come in
So
for
we
1
can,
second?
we can in fact see Vijay from the videos actually calling for help, calling for the police, giving water bottles, trying to pacify the
He's at the
situation.
airport, ma'am. Within a few hours, he was at the airport.
Madhav, can I
Yes.
If
come
he
in
was
for
serious
1
about doing work, he could have stayed back and helped the poor people over there. He did not do that. What kind of a leader is he? Who
His
causes death
staff-
and then does not even visit the hospital?
His staff was available there.
He's
His
a
staff
That's
was
not enough.
available
I'm sorry,
to
ma'am.
whatever-
If the chief
to
minister
whatever
can go,
was
if leaders
required.
of all major political parties can go, then surely Vijay can also do that work.
Absolutely.
Madhav,
I agree
This
to
is
what you are
this is a
stating,
typical mentality of entitlement that is now very clearly visible in Vijay's case.
but
Madhav,
it is
Madhav,
also
can
a
I come in
state
for
of
1
panic
minute?
which was created, and it was a very unfortunate event for Vijay to also sort of see at that present point in situation, and he had left his
What
and
logic
deployed
is this,
his
ma'am? If you
professional-
cause a stampede, at least have the responsibility to take ownership and take some action against it.
He's
So
not
certainly Vijay is not off the hook. His party's leaders are there, and Vijay has to take responsibility. Who called the public over there if it was not Vijay?
The rally had to be organized in a streamlined
And why did he
fashion.
delay it?
Accountability.
Why did he delay it by so many hours, which caused the numbers to swell?
these events have some sort of delay which has to be predicted.
Not some sort of delay. Ma'am, it is Vijay himself who is solely responsible for the crowd build-up, for arriving late, for not standing atop the open-top bus, and not, in fact, displaying himself, which advised people and the crowds would not have collected at that one particular spot to see him. There is, of course, a lot of responsibility that Mr. Vijay and his party also have to take, but the state government cannot be completely absorbed, which is why whether a judicial inquiry is apt for this particular case, whether there needs to be a central government probe so that the role of all can be impartially probed, is certainly a very big question. We'll have to leave it there. Mr. Kalyan Sundaram, Mr. K.C. Palniswamy, Hareesh Mohamed Ibrahim, Nadiya Sarguroh, thanks so much for joining us this evening.